Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about books that transformed my life, and specifically I'm gonna talk about the most important thoughts that you can have to write down because they help. The thing is, when you're an entrepreneur, your life is up and down, and one day you want to shut down your company, the next day you want to reopen it. So if you're lying in bed, want to do nothing, want to stop doing whatever you're doing, watch this video first because some thoughts are really great. Let's do it. Book number 1. I've read it this summer. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F-U-C-K. I'm not sure I can pronounce this name on YouTube and monetize my videos, so I'm not gonna pronounce it. But you're gonna read the title of the book. And this is one of the best books I've ever read. Thought number 1 from this book. You have to be responsible for everything that is happening to you. What we're doing a lot in our lives is complain. And when we complain, we say, oh, I was born in a wrong country. I was born in a wrong family. My parents didn't give me money for this, and that. So we start blaming others. We start pushing responsibility towards other people when we are actually responsible for everything. Even if you're traveling to some location to have a vacation there and you arrive and there is no sun and you cannot swim in the sea, this is your responsibility because you chose that location. It's not the weather or like other people. This really helps. And the guy who wrote this book, he talks about another guy who was just about to commit suicide. And that guy gave himself, I think he gave himself 2 weeks, and he said to himself, during the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna assume responsibility for everything that happens in my life. And in a year, this guy became a motivational speaker, everything became great. So this is something you have to try. Try to become responsible for everything that happened to you, and that's gonna happen. And another thought, this is coming from me. I studied probability theory in my university, and there was this Bellman's rule that said that in every situation you have to act taking into consideration the circumstances that you have right now. Not like thinking, oh, the last time I did it, I failed. No, forget about that. You have the circumstances now, and your actions should be based on them, not on your past experience. Thought number 2 from this book. You have to concentrate on what really matters. Like every day, I have 20 tasks. And I start with the easiest ones, and then it's the end of the day, and I'm like, oh, I haven't even touched the most important ones. So before starting to do every task, ask yourself, is this getting me closer to my goal? Action is not getting you closer to the goal. Cross it out. Stop doing that. Because 80% of our results are generated by 20% effort, so concentrate on those 20%. The next book is by Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. I've recommended this book to everyone, and everybody told me, Marina, this is one of the best books. Thought number 1. When something bad is about to happen, stop stressing out, sit down, and ask yourself, what are you gonna do in the worst set of events? Like if the worst thing happens, what do I do? And put down a plan. Once you have that plan, forget about this problem, because now you know what you're gonna do, and nothing matters now. You have to wait, because this leads to the second most important thought in this book. Your health is the most important thing. Like if you're healthy, if you have time, you can do everything. Even if you now failed, if you can walk, if you can think, if you can do things, then you can easily get to the next level. That's the thing. And when you worry about stuff that doesn't really matter, when you stress out, you're killing yourself. This is it, guys. So if you're worrying every single day of your life, you are minimizing the days on this planet that you're gonna live. So read that book, Stop Worrying, really helped me. Book number 3, one of my favorite YouTubers, really motivational, Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. And he talks about the phenomenon that every person is now a media company, which I totally agree with, because we have our social media, we can influence other people, we can talk about things that matter to us, and we don't need a medium for it. We don't need a newspaper, we don't need a TV show, and this is great. But one of the most important thoughts from this book is that this guy, Gary, he works 20 hours a day. He like wakes up at 5 a.m. and he brags about it. He's like, oh, I woke up at 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. I had a meeting, 6 a.m. I had another meeting, and then at 7 a.m. I had a meeting with my 800 people company, and I'm running this multi-million-dollar business, blah, blah, blah. So he's bragging about being really busy. Again, this is not the approach I recommend to everyone because I have to sleep at least 8 hours a day to be productive. Otherwise, I'm like crap. But if you have problem waking up, if you have problem leaving your bed, this is something you have to read. Like, it really makes you wake up, go ahead and work. Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. And I know, guys, it's tough in these days to read books, and it's cool when somebody sits down and tells you all of the best ideas from those books. Some of my life hacks, life hack number 1, audiobooks. When I fly somewhere, and normally my flight's like 12 hours long because I'm flying from San Francisco to Korea or from Korea to St. Petersburg, flying around, I listen to books. One flight is one book. Second thing, I just discovered an app called Blinkist. This is something amazing for those people who want to read more books but don't have a lot of time. It has 15-minute versions, audio versions of all of the major books that you can think of. Like the 3 books that I've mentioned, they are there. You go to Blinkist, you select a book, you can either read it in 15 minutes or you can listen to it for 15 minutes. And this way you have the main thoughts from the book. So I started using Blinkist because I have this friend who's always like, oh, you have to read this, this, and this book. And for example, you have an investor meeting and sometimes they talk about books that they've written or, their friends written, and it's really good to sound educated, and also it's good to know the thoughts from those books. I use them when I really need to get the idea of the book and decide whether I want to read it more or if the 15-minute version of it is enough for me. I talked to guys who created Blinkist. There is a link below. First 100 people who click this link and get a premium membership are gonna get 20% off the premium membership, and you can always get a 7-day free trial and access all of the books. And again, all of the books that I'm mentioning in this video, well, 4 of them are on Blinkist. Book number 4. This is the latest book I've read. This book is for all of us who worried about competition. The book is called How to Turn Down $1 Billion. It talks about the founder of Snapchat, Evan Spiegel. The thing is, Mark Zuckerberg, one of the most powerful guys in the world, is trying to copy every Snapchat's feature that became successful. Mark wanted to acquire Snapchat some years ago, but even didn't want to sell. So Mark created the exact same app that failed, and then in 2 years, even released stories, and you all know that Instagram copied the stories. The masks, Facebook copied that. But the most important thing is how Evan handled that. He was like, I'm never gonna work for a big corporation. There is no option I'm gonna sell. I would rather fail, but with my own company. I'm the captain. I'm the one, and this is very important. When you guys worry about somebody copying you, hear what Evan says. He says, I was the party maker in the university. I'm the one who feels people. I'm the one who feels what young people need, and I am the best one to create the app. And this is what I think makes an entrepreneur a great entrepreneur. He's not doing like buying, selling stuff. He is utilizing his talent, his skill of doing something that somebody else cannot do. Linguatrip has been copied so many times. People even use our articles, they use our pictures, they use everything. But you cannot copy us, the founders who are passionate about the project, who love study abroad, who love studying languages. That's the thing. So guys, I am worried every time when somebody tries to copy me, but the best thing that you can do is to sit down with yourself and your founders and tell yourself, guys, the most important thing about our company is the team, not something that we've already created. And it's about new ideas, new projects, and further steps. So read the book, How to Turn Down $1 Billion, and stop worrying. The next book is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, and this is a really important book. It's a little old-fashioned in terms of advice that he gives, in terms of like resources that he refers to. But I think it's really, really important to remember 2 thoughts from this book. Thought number 1, delegate. What he says is that he gave his employees a right to make a mistake, but if a mistake is not more than $100, if employees felt that it's more than $100, it was okay for them to call Tim and ask for his advice. Really helped me because delegating is one of the toughest things when you're a founder. If you have consultations, like for example, I have consultations like 5 or 6 times a week. He said, don't do them like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do one day in a week when you have 6 consultations back to back. This way you're gonna save time, because once you've done one consultation, you're really tired and you don't want to do other stuff. But when it's back to back, you like kind of dive into talking, and then you're done. That was it, guys. These were my 5 books that I would highly recommend to everyone. And these were my most important thoughts. Again, if you don't have time, there's this Blinkist app. The link is below. If you have time, feel free to download an audiobook. I love cleaning my apartment and you know, doing some stuff at home and listening to the book at the same time. If you have more time, you can listen to the full version of it. I love doing some stuff at home and also listen to an audiobook. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, the red button is below and there are some related videos here that you can watch, and I will see you very soon in the next vlogs. Bye!